old-fashioned episode of Javier in the Air. I have had some major technical difficulties with the refurbished laptop that I bought back in July. And finally, on Wednesday, it up and totally, absolutely 100% died on me. So I am now going, luckily, I kept my old laptop and I am back to the old laptop for now until I can get this other one taken a look at. The I don't have anything set up because I wasn't expecting to do this as far as like the camera goes and the lighting and everything. So I just have this right now. So it's gonna be old school, and I'm gonna make it short and sweet. I'm gonna have a trashy hood, and I'm going to have a bottom line, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the tasting party that I did, and then that's it. So let's go ahead and get to the trash in the hood. Okay, I lost a couple of days on the other laptop, but here's day four. Unfortunately, this was a really huge haul. A lot of this was down Hatch Street. You see some water bottles, soda cans, cardboard, aluminum foil, tennis ball, the usual cigarette butts. It was just a lot of stuff. But it's still, well, it was probably close to the same that you see here for day six, which was just yesterday, Saturday. Cans as well, plastic, paper, receipts, a lot more cigarette butts, a broken light, vape pen, some sort of headband that I found there, pieces of wire or fiber from weed eaters and everything. This was a heavy week, even though you only saw two here. The other days were just as heavy. Okay, so that was the trash hood for the week. I'd like to thank everyone who's been sending me some notes and suggestions and comments in nextdoor.com and also here on my podcast, Javier in the Air. And it's been delightful to see it. It's been thoughtful, and it struck up some good conversation with myself and my neighbors talking about picking up trash and why it's done and why people still continue to trash their neighborhoods and why trash is still getting out there. Not making any judgment calls. It's just more about people's frame of mind while they're doing it. And we don't know for sure people's exact frame of mind because we're not there when somebody's actually trashing the place. And to be honest, there's some that we know happens, like we know stuff falls, like I think I talked about this before in previous podcasts. The wind may pick up while you have your windows down and you're driving, and stuff flies out of your car. That's understandable. And sometimes you're in such a hurry, you either don't see it or you see it and you just don't pick it up. I know I've done it before, years ago, before I started consciously thinking about picking up trash, and certainly did it when I was younger, because when you're younger, you think everything is about you and not about people or environment or anything else around you. Not everyone, but there's a lot of selfishness when you're under a certain age, and that's just the way we're built. We being the human race, not just me. As you get older, you realize that as of now, there's only one place for us to be, and you want to leave something better to be looked at for the next generation, whether you have someone in that generation or not. We had some good conversation about it. I got some good feedback about it. Again, people wanting to know why I don't go into other people's neighborhoods, and my answer really is that if you have a neighborhood that I don't reach, and you're in that neighborhood, you can certainly start up and do it on your own too. Just do it. And also I talked about it before. The streets that I go on are some major thoroughfares to get to other big streets. So there's going to be, on average, there should be more trash than you would if it was just quiet, secluded neighborhood that a lot of cars did not go down. And It just the way it is. So I will continue as long as I am able to walk, which I need to continue doing for probably the rest of my life. Then I will go out there and try to pick up what trash that I can. Okay, so again, like I said, another truncated, or this is a truncated episode. For those of you who have not seen my show before, welcome to Javier in the Air. This is a little bit basic compared to how I normally do things. So please bear with me, and maybe you'll watch the next couple episodes for the end of the year. That will give you a better idea of how I normally do things if I can get back onto my regular laptop that has all my stuff on there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take a quick break and get something to drink, and then we have a new bottom line. So let's talk about that bottom line. Hi, welcome to a new bottom line where the subject is holiday travel, to or otherwise known as to do or not to do. Okay, so there's a lot of friends I know, a lot of friends and a lot of family that will be traveling over the next couple of weeks, specifically during the week of Christmas or the weekend of Christmas this year. Because they say it either saves money or it shortens the amount of time that they're actually going to be spending with other friends and or their family. So the question arises every year and everybody thinks it, should I or should I not travel during the holidays? And I'm not just talking about Christmas, Xmas now. I'm talking about, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Thanksgiving. Let's see what else can be out there. Other ones that may not fit the normal style, Festivus for all ones. So it just kind of depends on what your festivities that you're traveling for are. Now, some people like to travel during that time. I know I had some friends of mine that like to travel on Christmas Day because that seemed to be the best time to travel according to them. And this was back in the day. This was before COVID. This was before all the changes that are going on with flights and stuff like that. So, and that raises a whole nother point. So there's a lot of different areas going on here that I'm going to take the glasses off because it's the reflections are driving me nuts and I'm trying to figure out how to do. So you have many different ways. You can travel by car, you can travel by, well, you don't have a lot of different ways. You have to travel by car, you can travel by plane, you can also travel by rickshaw, and you can travel by cruise ship, but more often than not, you're not going to take those two. Plus, there's other ways to get around too. But the main two are driving or flying. Each of them have their ups, each of them has their downs. But it really comes down to whether you want to travel during those time or not. Like I mentioned before, I had friends who loved to travel on Christmas Day because they felt that it was easier for them and it was actually the easiest day to travel. Now, according to records that I've seen, that's not the easiest day to travel when it comes to the holidays. Christmas Eve is predominantly the worst, and the day after Christmas is predominantly the worst, are one of the top worst times to travel. So it kind of depends on which way you want to go. Do you want to travel where there's busyness or do you not? I mean, do you want to travel by car, which will take you longer? And do you like the ones that you're traveling with? Because you may be in a car for quite some time. Are you able to travel in a car because of weather concerns? If you're trying to drive up north and into the Midwest during winter, that's not the best time. You may get stuck out in the elements. You may get stuck at a hotel because you can't travel any further because of whiteouts and other issues. Or you may not even reach your destination. Plus, you have to worry about the amount of time that it takes. Hence where flying comes in. Now, with flying, the problems that we see these days are layover times. They're increasing, or they become short for some reason. You get off to try to get your connecting flight, and it turns out your flight has already left. Worst case than that is you get off your flight and you find out that your connecting flight has been canceled, either because of shortage of work crew, or issues with the plane, or they, and this is something that's been coming up that I'm not sure this is 100% accurate or not, but they've been talking about it, that if they don't get enough people, like if the plane isn't 100% full, they'll try to either cram people from another flight on there and then send it off early, or do not have enough people that they wind up canceling the flight and are connecting that to shortage of work staff. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's some of the things that have been kicked around lately. So you have to decide for yourself which way you want to go. Now, what's going to happen in the places that you go to? So there could be issues with your hotel rooms. There could be issues with trying to get to your hotel room. There can be issues with all that left and right and center. So if you're the kind of person that enjoys adventures and you like traveling in a time where it's the most hectic, either for a road trip or for a flight, then this is the time of year for you. If you like to be as calm as possible, if you like to have large windows of time where you can get to and from your connecting flights, or to and from where you're going to go, then this is a perfect time to do that. Or actually, it's not the perfect time to do that. It's best to do it at another time. If hecticness is your bag, or this is the only time you can get to go, then this is what you have to do, and it has to be done. So once again, and I've been told about this, is that some of the topics I've been choosing, it comes down to perspective. But everything is about perspective. So if you love to travel this time of year, then of course you're going to travel. You don't care, and that's something that you want to do. If you hate traveling through this time of year, you're never going to travel through this time of year, because it's something that you don't want to do. So it's tough. I wish I had someone here that we could toss around that idea. And if you're interested in doing that, by all means, let's talk. But the bottom line is holiday travel, you probably should not do, as it increases your stress and anxiety level. But if you have to do it, then try to give yourself a lot more time to do it in. And that's the bottom line. Okay, so I'm trying to make it so that the light's not seen, but then I get some weird light over here. So well, it'll be, see what you think. Thanks, everybody. This is a short episode this week, and I appreciate everybody taking the time to watch this. I apologize again for the uncut, rough look of this episode, but I hope you enjoyed it. The last thing I wanted to talk about was I did have a tasting party last night, and it was for cocktails, kind of pseudo, or for the most part, Christmas cocktails. So we had 4 entries. We had about 9 people here, so that was nice. And we did a white elephant gift as well. So we had a something called Licor 42 or 43, I'm sorry. Liquor 43, which is a coffee type liqueur and coffee that was presented by or submitted by Chris and Maya. It was very good. I liked it. It wasn't as sweet as the other ones, which is why I think I liked it more. We had a chai spiced white Russian that yours truly submitted. It was absolutely horrible. I think it was too much chai. I think I seeped it for too long. So you were supposed to seep it for 2 hours. I seeped it for about 6. And then I also put some star anise in there as a garnish. And that started coming out really, really strong quickly. So I think that kind of ruined the drink there. We had we like to call it James's alcoholic hot chocolate, which was just a combination of stuff that James Takashita, who we've had on the show many times and we've talked about many times, had on the show. Him and Julia submitted that one. It did taste like an alcoholic. Wasn't hot chocolate. It was like cold chocolate milk. So it was James's alcoholic chocolate milk, and it was good. It was really good. But what really went over the top and killed it was Memo and Vorga's Abuelita hot chocolate, or alcoholic hot chocolate, I should say. So it simply had three ingredients in it, which again, what made it very simple, very easy. It had Abuelita's hot chocolate that you can get at HEB. I'm sure you can get it other words, but I know HEB for sure has it. And it has a bunch of spices inside of the chocolate itself, and it's specifically used for hot chocolate. So you had the Abuelita's hot chocolate. You had the whole milk, which is rare these days that people don't like to use, but whole milk. And then we had Patron coffee tequila. That's right, coffee tequila. If you've not had it before, it's absolutely scrumptious. I think I had it in season 1 of my podcast. So those three ingredients made it over the top, and they won best of show. So we also had white elephant giving. So the premise behind that, $15 maximum buy. You wrap the present, funny or otherwise. Try to make it funny is usually the best case. We had 9 entries on that. 8 entries on that. First person gets to pick a gift, unwraps it, shows everyone what it is. Second person in line who gets to pick can either steal from number 1 or get a gift that hasn't been opened. Of course, it's there. Unwraps it, shows everyone what it is. We continue to go down the list. You can steal from someone, or you can choose a gift that hasn't been opened. If there is going to be a stealing, the person who gets the gift stolen from them gets to either steal from someone else, or they get a gift from the table. Now, one gift can only be stolen up to 2 times, so makes it a little bit more difficult if you're further down the line, depending on what you're trying to go for. This was a nice group, so there was only one steal, and everything worked out fine. So it was really nice, and that was it for our Christmas tasting. And we will have. I'm gonna try to have something in January, possibly February, depending on people's schedules. And the next one that's up, everybody voted for it, is going to be mead. That's right, mead, which is a honey wine liqueur, or honey wine liqueur, or liqueur. And look it up and see what it is. There's a lot of history behind it. It's been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. There's some good meaderies around the Austin, Texas area. Elgin Meadery is one that I like their mead. There's also Meridian Hive does a mead as well. So a lot of places nowadays do a mead, and so it'll be interesting to see what we get. So hopefully we can get a lot more people again. Beginning of the year, more people, less activities going on, so they might be able to make it to the tasting. So that's coming up next. So thank you for, if this is the first time you watching the show, thank you for watching. If you're interested, if you have a mom and pop business that you're interested in being interviewed and having on the show, by all means, I'd love to have you on the show. Doesn't even have to be local. If you have a shop and you want to just promote your business with me, let me know. Reach out to me and direct message me. Smoke signals, hand signals, light flashing, however you can get a hold of me. So if you have a topic that you want me to talk about, let me know. If you'd like to be on the show as a co-host, guest co-host from time to time, let me know. Certainly, and if anything that you're passionate about, you want to talk about, let me know, except for the 2 that I always mention. So enjoy the rest of, or the start of your week. Hopefully will go by quick. If you are going to be traveling this week, be safe. If you're going to be driving this week, be safe. And there's only a couple more weeks left in the year. I'm beginning to start thinking about what to do for 2023. So if you have any thoughts or suggestions, let me know that as well. All right, everyone, have a good week, And I will talk to you again next week. Thanks a lot.